Hey everybody, welcome to another gameplay video. This is Tin Fox back with you. Got a game against Newshoes. It's monogrowth mirror match, so lots of fun. Couple big things I want to talk about in this game and in this gameplay video. The first is going to be a topic I like to call, or game theory likes to call, best response. Now we'll see this a couple times throughout the game. We'll see it properly applied and we'll see it improperly applied. But for those who don't know, best response is the concept of making plays assuming that your opponent will play their best response. Now what that means is not thinking just the turn ahead of what your opponent's going to do, but what that means for you. So if your opponent plays their best response, then what is it that helps you at that moment? And some concrete examples will definitely help, and we'll get to those when you see them. There's going to be one on my first turn. Another big concept we're going to focus on is mistakes. I'm going to make a lot of them, and you'll get to see a lot of them. I'll try and point out as many as I can find. Newshoes makes a few mistakes, I feel like, but I think his gameplay is a little bit more tight than mine. But I may just be super critical of mine. Another topic, this will be the last one that I won't really discuss as much, but you can look for specific gameplay tips. Look for any action that protects a unit who is attacking sooner than another unit, or not attacking this turn at all. So what I mean by that is, like, look for repositioning that puts a unit with a countdown of 1 behind a unit with a countdown of 2, or a creature who's in front who's attacking has a countdown of 0, but the unit behind it has a countdown of 1 because it's being protected because it gets to attack the next turn. So look for that. That's a higher level play mechanic that a lot of good players use to get value out of their units and in hopes to keep them alive. Though prioritizing the safety and health of units who aren't attacking. Or who are going to get to attack sooner, except for the ones that are already attacking this turn, if that makes sense. So, without further delay, we'll get this started. I'll try and do, again, minimal pauses. It seems like everybody liked that I cut most of the pauses. There will be a couple spots that I might need to analyze a little deeper, but I've got notes again, so it should go quicker. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's see. We get to see their stats. Newshoes starts growth. We'll see that. I say hello. They say hi. I'm looking at my hand. I'm going to pitch the rally just because I have all these little creatures. I get a Ranger's Bane, so that's still the case. I don't know if that's the best play, but I put down the Vader so that I have access to Ragged Wolf Crimson Bull next turn. That's for two reasons. The first is I think that he might play Kinfolk Brave, and the second is I want to maximize damage. That Vader of the Wild, I put that on this row. This is that best player response. I knew that his actions would want to take out my Vader of the Wild, but I assumed he might have a Ragged Wolf, so I didn't want him to both get to take out my Ragged Wolf and stay in the middle lane. So that was why I put the Vader of the Wild as a best response to their best response, I guess, if that makes any sense. Anyway, the game's progressing. You can see I took out that Kinfolk Brave with a Crimson Bull. Sisters of the Fox comes down from our opponent. We contemplate. We're obviously want to go fight that. We decide to Fertile Soil the Vader because we have a Great Wolf in our hand, and Vader's just more fragile. We run 3 Frost Gales, so I think it's better to not rely on him sooner. It may have actually, that might have been a mistake of mine though. So Druid Burial Ground comes down. We see a big turtle up here. Our options are either to attack the Druid Burial Ground or move. We sort of contemplate that, and then we decide to play out the Brother of the Wolf. I was concerned about Kinfolk Veteran. That's why I put them in this configuration. I didn't want the Kinfolk Veteran to be able to take out my Ragged Wolf. In retrospect, he only had 1 scroll in hand, but it turned out that he drew a Kinfolk Veteran, so didn't think that one through. I would have probably played that different, but it ended up working out for me. So round 5 we see we do this push down to get away from that wolf with 1 damage, or that could do 1 damage to our guide, but we decide that we want to keep engaged on this center lane. We don't want to just give it up, so we move our team up to engage. Hopefully we can get a mangy wolf here. He puts down a great wolf though. That's not great, but if we can get a mangy wolf, we're in a fine position. And so we get it, and then it's just a matter of putting it out. We know we want to cast it though, so we have 5 resources available, so we cast the Eye of the Eagle as well. Obviously maximize your resources, nothing crazy there. So we get to take out the burial ground, and we get to put a lot of damage on that wolf, and then we have the ability to take out that wolf next turn. Big fertile soil there, puts him at 5 scrolls, puts him ahead on resources with that Vader. We would like to take out that Vader as soon as possible. Now we would also like to put out that great wolf, but that second mangy wolf has to come down to eliminate the chance that our opponent will be able to attack with those. In the monogrowth mirror, it's key. These countdown reduction guys are just really good. We see a Pother. I think a lot of the higher end players are playing Pother right now. I think it's a fine play. I think the addition of Pother leads to weaker draws though. That just might be me though. So you saw we saw the God Hand. We pitched that. It would seem like we're too far off from it, even though we ended up getting a Vader, and we probably could have cast it next turn. I wanted to be able to put that Great Wolf down instead. Transposition, you can see as a technique to protect his unit with 1 countdown as opposed to his unit that's attacking this turn. It's kind of interesting. So we lose our brother of the wolf. We take a hit. This is a tricky play here. We have to we pitched a Kinfolk Brave there if you missed it. We're holding, but then we made an aggressive Quake so that we could wipe out his board. May not have been the best play, but I think I still stand behind it. But if you notice, we incorrectly moved our Great Wolves there. I had that in my notes. I should have put this Great Wolf in front of the other one because the other one was attacking. It ended up not mattering because he had a Pother. So again, that's probably another one for Pother. We get a Sister of the Fox, get up to draw into a 4-cost unit. That was kind of lucky for us. Let's see. We moved our Great Wolf over. I don't know if that was the best because it's so easy to take out that Sisters of the Fox, and then he has the rally, so then that really puts us on our back foot, I think. But we have Kinfolk Veteran and a rally, so we could have just been super aggressive here with the rally, but we wanted to put out the Vitality Well to get these guys back out of range of Quake. We want to get them out of Quake range. I screw up here. Here's a doe. I should have put the Veteran in front of the wolf just because it would have allowed me to do 2 more points of damage to this idol. I don't like this Great Wolf placement from him. The chances of us not having a rally, it just seems like he threw that wolf away. He could have put it maybe up here and still been engaged, or he could have put it just farther away, but he just gave us an out. You saw rally Brother of the Wolf tricks. We used the activation and then cast rally. That's something you want to do. You want to be looking for to maximize. He's digging for some action here. Fertile Soil and Kinfolk Brave, that's pretty basic. Push our team to the center so that we can start attacking these middle lanes. I go for the Kinfolk Veteran, even though a rally may have been better. I know Quake is coming at this point. I see he just dug super deep. He's now at 5. He's going to be at 7 scrolls, and he has no incentive not to Quake at this point. So a huge Quake from him. Ragged Wolf comes down, takes out our mangy wolf. At this point, I know a Quake is coming, so I hold this Ragged Wolf back. Or that's why I held that Ragged Wolf back in the first place. I didn't think he had. I didn't put him on a second Quake, so I wanted to maximize my damage with this Ragged Wolf taking out his Ragged Wolf. So we're not in the best position though, and when we see a second Quake, it feels like momentum-wise he is stabilized, and we're just not where we want to be. But what do you do? So we maximize our unit output here. Instead of putting out a Kinfolk Veteran, we put out 2 guys. We don't put him on a third Quake at this point. A Kinfolk Jarl comes down for him. He moves it up because 6 health. What am I gonna do? I draw into a Ragged Wolf, which allows me to put down enough damage to take out the Jarl. So that's what we do. And then I've got a rally for next turn. So yeah, he's still in a better position. A lot of scrolls in hand, and then we see another Jarl. This this Ragged Wolf feels like it keeps us. I'm gonna pause here for just a second. Sorry, help my elbow. This is sort of a decision point for us, and this is where I actively try to take an aggressive route instead of a defensive route, and I think it changed the course of the whole game. I don't know if it was for the better or if it was in our favor. So we could technically do 2 damage. We could put down our Kinfolk Brave. We could cast the rally, or put down our Kinfolk Brave, move our Brother Wolf, summon another Wolf, cast the rally, do 2 points, 2 points to this guy, 4 points to that guy, and then move this Brave over, take out the middle lane, leave these guys here, take out these 2 lanes. So that is one line of play that probably would be better. That's not what we end up doing though. What I decided to do is just to get super aggressive and ignore his units and just try and maximize damage on this final row. I think that's a misplay, and you're gonna see I think about it for a long time. Obviously that time's not right, but I think about it. I go with the Sisters of the Fox, sort of hedging my bets here. I could have put the Kinfolk Brave down, but I think that would have been an overextension. Maybe that's not the case though. Maybe I should have just put the Brave down. But we take out 2 idols, and then we put 4 damage down on this idol. Obviously he's going to try and retaliate. I assumed he would have some way to retaliate right off the bat though. I'm surprised I didn't see a rally here. A huge Fertile Soil for him. Now we could very very easily push up. We didn't really get a good way to be aggressive though with these units at this moment. Like if we'd have gotten that rally sooner, we would have probably gone for the attack his team. But what I do is I move up that Brave to stay aggressive and try and draw his units up out of sort of this fight. Here's another mistake. That Ragged Wolf should have come down here. It would have incentivized him to go up with his team, and it would have given me protection. At this point, I thought I'd already seen 3 Kinfolk Veterans, so I didn't put him on a 5th or a 4th Kinfolk Veteran. I guess the game has already progressed to the point where we were seeing multiple units, so that's how that works. We Quake at this point, sort of to stabilize, just because we have to a Frost Gale and then a Wolf Summon. Now this Ragged Wolf, here's a mistake again. I attacked this Burial Ground when I probably should have just taken out the Jarl, but I knew I had the Quake, and I was worried that the Burial Ground would give the Veteran enough health to survive. Obviously that wouldn't have been right. We get a disconnect. This is kind of changes the shape of this game just a bit. So then he casts a rally. he's way down on time. He casts a rally and then a Great Wolf. Obviously, you want to do that in reverse order. But doing a lot of damage. It would have put this at this idol at 1 health. What else do we see from him? Nothing that turn. We put down a Brave to try and just sneak into this idol. Again, this is that best player response. This is a point where we screw up, and we know that if he had a way to kill that Brave, he was going to do it and put a unit down. But we decided to put it in the lane we actually want to attack. So what we did was, I'm going to pause for just a second. What we did was we allowed him to put his unit in the lane we wanted to attack and kill our unit. That's silly. We should have put the Brave either here or here and allowed made him make the choice of either killing our unit or protecting that lane. In the end, he pothered, and his pother was I don't think I like that pother. I think I would have tried to, if I was him, I would have pothered my Great Wolf, and maybe see what you get and maybe get more options. That veteran, though, who would have been in good position, is now out of position, and we could win this right now with our own veteran and a Crimson Bull. So I'm gonna start it back up. Sorry again for the pauses. I know you guys aren't fans of those pauses. So we can start to feel this game is slipping out of our control. We go for Kinfolk Brave, Fertile Soil, and we also sack for units there, or sack for scrolls there. I think because we sacked for scrolls a turn earlier because we were trying to get that win. It didn't end up working for us. I don't like this transposition. I think it's cute, but I think I would have rather, if I was him, I would have rather had that idol still on 2 health, so then I would still have to defend it. Another mistake is that Sisters of the Fox should have moved down. It would have allowed him to protect this lane and put 3 damage on our idol that's already on damage. We Quake and we Ragged Wolf, so we can keep him off of the team, but he resets. He puts a unit to protect this idol, and he puts a unit to protect that idol. Now, had that Sisters of the Fox attack that lane, that idol would have been at 2 health, and we'd have been in a really tough position. We put down the Sisters of the Fox for chump blocks, and then we go we go into defensive mode. We're going to just ignore this lane now and try and fight on these 2 lanes. We put a Great Wolf out with a Bear Paw on it just so that we have a super beefy guy there, and we have double Mangy Wolf and Rally, so we have ways to get him back attacking. A Frost Gale we're not super worried about. He's putting down a huge team. Now he puts on this huge team, and it does a wonderful job of distracting me because I see all these creatures, and I don't see that right now I can kill him. If I just move that Great Wolf up, cast double Mangy Wolf, cast Crimson Bull, that guy's doing 10. But I think, oh, I have 13 points of damage. I can wipe out his board and do a lot here. I should have moved up. There's no reason I didn't. Or there's a very good reason I didn't, and we'll go into that later. But good Brother of the Wolf movement here. The double move gets him across the board, gets him interacting on this lane. Great Wolf comes down because it's got to. Kinfolk Brave, and then as just a gesture to this lane, he puts down a Vader. The Rally seals it for us. Actually, the Rally doesn't seal it for us. This Ragged Wolf does it. So we extend the game, and then we cast out that Rally. It's enough to take him out. So even though we made some mistakes, we tilted a little bit, and I think that's the first time I ever said tilted. We got ourselves back into it, and we ended up with a solid finish there at the end, minus the total screw up. So back to the big things that we can learn from this game, because again, this is my effort to be more focused in these videos and to have more takeaways that I can make these videos valuable for you. So the first and foremost, is, eye on the prize. The turn I could have won and I missed it. It's a result of these mental shortcuts we use. And we all use them. It makes the game easier to digest. So we develop these rules for games, such as always sacrifice a scroll every turn, or killing creatures is more important than killing idols. And you just know these things. You have them in your head. And what happens though is you rely on them too much, and so then you put yourself in a position where you sacrifice. You draw a scroll for your turn. It's the only scroll you have. You think, okay, I need to sacrifice a scroll, so sacrifice it. But it would have won you the game. This is a rally or something. It's a shortcut that you put in your head, but you don't stop to process it. So in this instance, I saw a bunch of creatures. I saw I could wipe his board out on that lane, and that's what I did. I didn't stop to think about the ultimate goal of this game. It's that I need to kill idols, and I didn't focus on that. And so in the end, I gave him a window that I shouldn't have given him. In the end, it didn't end up mattering, but there are times where it can. So be on the lookout. I'm not saying those shortcuts are those things you put in your head. Like if you play Magic, you say untap, upkeep, draw. Those aren't bad things. They're just things that if you rely on them too much, you're going to make blunders that could cost you the game. So again, the other takeaway about best player responses. So you saw from my first play, I was trying to make sure I thought about how my opponent would respond to my plays, or what the game would look like when it became my turn again. In round 20, I misplayed by putting that Kinfolk Brave in the lane we wanted to attack. But again, this was wrong, because it lets our opponent do the two things he wants to do: protect an idol, even if he doesn't know he wants to protect the idol, and then kill our unit. It's just you shouldn't give them that easy of a decision. And so when you're playing stuff and when you're putting units in rows, think about when you're placing them, think about what your opponent will do to counter that. And if it's, I'm going to put down a unit, then maybe you shouldn't telegraph and say, this is the lane I'm attacking in, so then you can defend in this lane. Make him choose between killing your creature or defending the lane. So final note for this one: this was a game of mistakes. This format of me really digging into these videos helps me see how many mistakes I make, and it shows me that everybody makes mistakes. And yes, there's going to be luck involved, or yes, there's going to be bad matchups. I get that. But as a player, you can help to minimize the chances of those, your opponent getting a lucky draw, by minimizing your mistakes. Or you can minimize the percentages in a bad matchup by just tighter play. And if you don't have the replay mod installed, install it. There's no cost to you. There's no reason not to. Watch your replays. Look at what you do wrong and learn from it. If you're somebody that doesn't realize that they could attack an idol when they and win the game, or if you're somebody who starts to attack an idol too soon and doesn't see that their creatures are taking lots of damage from your opponent's creatures, you'll start to see that. If your goal is to get better at competitive play, then you need to take some time to see what it is that you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, before you just get set in those ways, and it becomes harder to fix your mistakes. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that was beneficial. I hoped you got something from that. As always, thanks for watching, guys. You are good folks. I haven't been in the foxhole for much recently. I haven't had a lot of time, and so then if I get on, I'm recording a gameplay or a replay video, then I don't have a chance to get into there. I'm still there though. I still hop in there, and I'll play you guys, play anybody that wants to play. So thanks for watching. As always, until next time.